since spoken to a number of people and have learned of other ways to use it other than smoking. I use a tincture, which is not only reduces the severity and the duration of my neuropathy, which is a direct result of the AIDS that I have, it decreases the duration. The same is true with my phantom limb pain. I'm an amputee and have been for 34 years. That's not as severe, it's not as often, and it's not as intense. 6 months ago, I was on 13 prescriptions. Today, I take 6. I take 2 antivirals to fight the HIV. I was on 4 psychiatric medications. I'm down to 2. I no longer take one psych medication that made me literally grasp the walls when I woke in the morning. I no longer have to take Neurontin, which had the same effect for the neuropathy. Have you ever woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning and turned your lights on because you thought your foot and hands were on fire? It has happened to me dozens and dozens of times. It doesn't happen anymore. Marijuana has saved my life. It has improved the quality of living.
And look who's here at this meeting. The town people, most of them don't want to talk, but it's mainly young people. Where are the older people? Well, you know, they're interested in this issue too, but maybe they're a little scared. You know, they've lived here longer. They're not as bold and as open as young people are. A little more conservative. Don't want to show their face. And you know, you've given them every reason why they shouldn't. Because I'm talking about Joanne Villarreal. She operated a medical marijuana collector. She was a cancer patient. She found out cannabis helped treat all the ailments and symptoms of that disease. And she had to travel to San Diego, deal with criminals. She didn't want to do that. She said, hey, let's open up a collective. It's allowed under state law. She got a lawyer to write up all the papers for her. She did everything right. She even got a seller's permit, so she pays sales taxes, you know. They pay sales tax on marijuana. Board of Equalization tell you to do that. They don't tell you to pay sales taxes on something that's illegal. What Joanne Villarreal was doing was legal. And yet your police department raided her and eventually arrested her and put her in jail with, what, $20,000 bail? She's like a criminal? That's what happens when you don't have an ordinance. Your police treat these people like criminals for doing something that is perfectly legal under state law. Did you ever give your police any direction on how to handle a medical marijuana collective? Is this what you wanted to have happen? Joanne, where are you? Stand up. Joanne, stand up. Look at her. Is this what you wanted put in prison with $20,000 bails for doing something that's permitted under state law? That's what happens when you don't take action, when you don't know what needs to be done to bring you into compliance with state law.
The more I sat here and listened to the advocates, the more I caused reflection to ban it completely. And I say that with sincerity to the people who spoke, because I know you had your hearts into it, but I quite honestly think the more you spoke, the more damage you caused your case. First of all, I would suggest to you that I'm certainly concerned, maybe some of you saw me ask to see the speaker slips. Not one person spoke who lives in the Imperial Valley or who's been a long-term resident. Speak. Now, certainly this is not a slam dunk issue, and I spoke to this when the advocates were here a couple of months ago. Certainly there's a need. I'll agree with it. I think there are people in this community and in Imperial County that have medical issues that could be provided a benefit by having medical marijuana. I don't think anyone would necessarily disagree with that in a general sense. But also, as I said a couple of months ago, for us to sit here as a council member and say, there'll never be an issue, it's the most perfect thing in the world, I don't know that there's any issue that we deal with that is the perfect issue, that there's never a problem. That makes it the difficult. As one of my council colleagues suggested earlier, every city that I'm aware of in Imperial County has banned. And that concerns me.
Nothing will raise my dander more than having out-of-towners come in here and tell me, or tell this council what's right, or what's best, or what should be done for the city of El Centro. So quite frankly, with the exception of one or two speakers that I would actually consider to have any input of legitimacy to this issue, I think that several of you traveled here for no good reason.
We on this council represent all the people, even those with pain. And even those with pain who do not want to break the law to get the medicine that they need to make their lives more comfortable. And because of that, with me, I agree. 2 is the best direction for us to go, because I think it allows our residents an opportunity to live out their lives with a quality of life that they would not be able to do if they're going over to San Diego for an hour drive, working on facilities over there. But I do agree with the mayor, Mrs. Walker, that I am strictly a regulator. This thing has to be set up so tight that, it's hard for somebody to get anything out of it illegally.
Motion on the floor, any additional discussion, or just in a second? Any additional comments? Please, Motion by Eddie, second by Solomon.